Evil or insane? The Ratman story. Are evil people truly evil or just mentally ill? This is a difficult question that sparked huge media debate in Japan when 4 young girls were brutally murdered. Even if people are truly mentally ill and insane, should their evil acts be excused because of that? Furthermore, what caused insane people to detach themselves from reality and commit such heinous crimes? Hello guys, and a warm welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, I'm here for you with a new murder recap. If you want to know the truth behind the Ratman murders that truly shocked Japan, then keep watching. In this video, I am going to give you a recap of the highly disturbing Ratman murders involving several young girls. If you are a minor, we suggest not going any further with this video. Before moving ahead, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you remain notified with the upcoming latest videos. Without further delay, let's get straight into the video. Who is the Ratman? Itsuomu Miyazaki was a Japanese man born to a wealth family on the 21st of August 1962 in the town of Itsukiyachi. He was the eldest son in the family and was born with a birth defect that did not allow his wrist to bend upwards, thus limiting his functionality in many educational settings. He was born premature and needed a lot of care, but both of his parents were busy running a very successful Japanese publishing company, so they had very little time to care for him. Miyazaki was mainly looked after by his grandfather, who had served on the Itsukiyashi Town Council. His family was very influential, so they hired a male nanny to look after Miyazaki. The male nanny was physically well, but intellectually disabled. Miyazaki grew up completely detached from his parents and his younger sisters. He only felt that he was understood by his grandfather. It is stated that Itsuomu Miyazaki was not well accepted at his school. Due to his disability, he was picked on by other students, and he grew up aloof, without a lot of close friends. He went to a very prestigious school and maintained good grades for some time before his grades started to drop completely. He aimed to attend the Meiji University in Japan and become an English teacher, but he couldn't do that due to his poor grades. Instead, he started studying to be a photography technician after he was done with school. It can be assumed that this is where he developed a knack for camera and videography work. He moved back home during the mid-80s once he was done studying as a photography technician. This is where the family started noticing problems here and there, and when they confronted him, it further alienated Miyazaki from his family. His grandfather died in 1988, and that is when his streak of vicious murders began. He allegedly ate his grandfather's ashes to feel that his grandfather was always close by. The innocent victims. Between August 1988 and June 1989, Miyazaki murdered 4 innocent young girls and committed heinous acts of violence with their bodies, which included necrophilia and cannibalism. He was caught as he was sexually harassing his potential 5th victim. His very first victim was a 4-year-old girl named Mari Kono. Miyazaki abducted Mari Kono just one day after his 26th birthday. He had abducted the little girl in his Nissan Langley and drove west of Tokyo and parked underneath a bridge in an isolated wooded area. There, he sat along her for half an hour before murdering her and committing necrophilia. He kept the girl's clothes and dumped her body in the hills near his home. Later, he came back to her decomposing body and took off her hands and her feet, which were discovered in his closet when he was arrested almost a year later. He burned the remaining bones of the little girl and ground them into powder. He sent this powder to the little girl's family in a box, along with her teeth, pictures of her clothes, and a postcard that said, "Mari, cremated bones, investigate, prove." Up until June 1989, Miyazaki committed 3 more murders of the same nature with young girl victims, whose ages were reported to be from 4 years old to 7 years old. He convinced young girls to take their clothes off, took their pictures, then murdered them and molested them. He also took off their hands and feet to eat and drink blood from. He also sent the victims' families some sort of grim parcel with body remains and a postcard with hints of the young girl's death. Miyazaki was caught when he was at a family park. He separated a young girl from her elder sister and convinced the young girl to take her clothes off. While he was taking pictures, Miyazaki was caught and attacked by the girl's father. Miyazaki managed to escape but left his car behind. When he came back to collect his car at night, the police were waiting for him and promptly arrested him. Public response and court trial. These cases truly shocked the public. All of these murders happened in the Saitama Prefecture region of Japan, an area known to be very peaceful with little to no reports of violent crimes against children. It was made public through the media that Miyazaki's apartment had a very large collection of anime film, manga films, and horror movies and more. This led to a very big public outcry against the fantasy genre of anime and manga, because people said these shows and movies detached young people from reality, thus making it easy for them to commit such terrible crimes, especially when these young people do not have adequate upbringing because their parents are always busy with work. Miyazaki's trial began on the 30th of March 1990. During the trial, he would often start talking nonsensically and blame his actions on an invisible rat man. He stated that the rat man was his alter ego and forced him to kill those young girls. He spent a lot of time in jail actually drawing the supposed rat man. In Japan, it is the law that mentally ill people or intellectually disabled people should not be punished harshly for crimes, and that their sentences should be reduced. Miyazaki's family was so ashamed of his acts that his father refused to pay for his legal expenses, and himself committed suicide in 1994. The Japanese court appointed 3 teams of psychiatrists who were to determine the mental state of Miyazaki so he could be given an appropriate sentence. This murder case was given many names by the media before being called the Ratman case. All psychiatrist teams came to a different conclusion. One team said Miyazaki has schizophrenia. The other team said that Miyazaki was intellectually disabled and feeble-minded, while the third team said Miyazaki had multiple personality disorder, but was completely aware of his actions when he committed those murders, which is why he should take responsibility for those murders. 7 years after the trial began, the Tokyo District Court judge sentenced Miyazaki to death on April 14, 1997. The judge came to the conclusion that Miyazaki was completely aware of his crimes and should be held responsible. The death sentence was upheld by Tokyo High Court and the Supreme Court of Justice. He was hanged to death on June 17, 2008, at the Tokyo Detention House. This story became so popular and shocking that Miyazaki's murder spree even inspired another child killer who claimed to be the next Itsumo Miyazaki. He was also arrested. So guys, what do you think about today's video? I hope you liked the recap. If you want more recaps on different murder cases, then please do mention them in the comment box. This is all about today's video. Guys, do give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to watch the next murder case. Goodbye for today. Peace. Peace.